Look, relatively speaking, from a global perspective, ours is a young and evolving nation. And when I speak of our nation or our country, please know that it is always with acknowledgement, a heavy heart, and a deep respect for the First Nations people from whom it was appropriated from. So, relatively speaking, we are a young and evolving nation with two dominant political philosophies. Now, by design, one is no better than the other. Both are meant to serve, balance, and progress each other as our nation evolves. It's an evolution of whose purpose is the manifestation of the intentions of our Constitution. Now, noticeably, our last few years have been a deterioration of our Constitution, our society, and our political philosophies. A deterioration that is disguised as patriotism, figureheaded by a highly privileged, self-serving individual who succeeds by manipulating the sympathies and exploiting the fears, greeds, and anxieties of his supporters, especially his base. It's a base that has been ignited and exploited by this privileged individual that cannot relate to their everyday lives nor the lives of our general public because he's never had to. The supporters are glamored by the narcissism, arrogance, and bold, though as juvenile as it is, tough talk. They all follow because they have been baited by buzzwords and catchphrases designed to trigger emotions. They are perceiving a strength that is actually a mirage from an individual that sees the duties of the office as a favor to the people rather than an obligated and sincere duty. Now, by contrast, a person of the people relates to the needs of the people and is more likely to satisfy those needs empathetically. We have an individual that not only lacks empathy, but shamelessly solicits attention and recognition for the favors that he bestows upon his subjects. The example of name-calling and playground bullying from this aged adult in the highest public office in the land is not an example that serves us, our children, society, or our constitutional and political values. Now, we all know that boldness in a leader is desirable, but boldness without responsibility is disastrous. Look around at the dysfunctional ways that the example has manifested itself to the detriment of our nation. We have protesting, counter-protesting, infiltrators, rioters, friends unfriending friends, even family members are not speaking. So let's stop the finger-pointing and the name-calling of each other, because we're all being played and are falling prey to the device of divide and conquer. We're better than that. And together, we're stronger than the facade of this type of leadership. Even our Republican Party has been hijacked. Remember back in 2016 how the sandbox bully tactics and lies we've now become accustomed to overwhelmed the other candidates and coerced the party's nomination, resulting in the party's principles and loyalties being exploited? Too often, party loyalty is tested as members spend much of their time and energy making excuses and doing damage control over irresponsible things that are said and done. The loyalties should be with the people and the country, not with an individual. So, Republican Party, regroup, get back on track, shake this off, and come back stronger. Stand on the right side of history. Stand for the evolution of our principles and intentions of liberty and justice for all. We all have to evolve from what is happening now. May we realize that November is not about the extremes of one side over the other. It's about the higher intentions of decency and the preservation of our fundamental rights that should just be. They're basics, and we should not have to fight anyone for basic rights. Though it is fun for us to think so, the people fighting for their rights are not the problem. Those who are implementing laws and obstacles to those rights are. May we have awareness that there is a sophisticated intervention from adversaries with long-term detrimental objectives that is influencing our news and social media, and they do not have our best interests in mind. So let's refamiliarize ourselves with the definition of propaganda and have some discernment when we're online scrolling. And let's hope that our news sources report truthfully and responsibly versus sensationally and in misleading ways. Look, pay attention to what is happening now. The leadership of the almost last 4 years reflects the current state of our nation. What we are experiencing is an intended polarization, a manipulation, and I can't say it enough. Let's not be susceptible. Let's evolve through what's happening to a foundation of strength, diversity, and good intentions for all. We are a young nation. Let's not lose our souls. Let's prosper, mature, be inclusive, learn from our tragedies, and grow with consistency toward the intentions of what our country is meant to be. As a good man once said, let us redeem the soul of America. Final thought. We all have our truths. What connects us is higher truths. What divides us is lower truths. That we must have a strategy of reciprocal responsibility between our government and we the people is a higher truth. We have a few days left, y'all. Please vote. Thank you.